So, hello viewers. So in this video, we'll be looking at a few exercises from 6.3. We have this function and we want to find amplitude, periods. So A, which is the amplitude A. So, and how do we find amplitude? Remember, if we have, we will compare it with what? We will compare with this one, A sine kx, right, plus b plus c. So if we compare this, it means the amplitude A is just going to be absolute value of what? Of A, which is absolute value of -3. And this is just the amplitude. And the period P, we know is 2 pi over K. And this is just 2 pi over what is K? You can see K is pi, right? And this is nothing but what? But 2. Then the maximum value, M, how do we find M? If you remember the range, what is the range? We have a formula for it, minus, and then plus C, right? So this is -3 plus, what is C here? You can see that C is 5. So here, K is what? Is pi, B is -2, C is 3. No, C is 5. 3. So here we have to add 5 here. And here is 3 plus what? Plus 5. So -3 plus 5, this would give us 2. And this will give us what? 8. So the maximum, it means this is your minimum, M. And this is the maximum, capital M. So to evaluate this, A plus P, A is 3, P is 2, capital M is 8, small m is 2. So this will give us 5 over 10, which is just half. So that's why the answer is A. So this is similar situation here. Here we have, this will be our A. So if we need the amplitude, so what is A here? A is -3. K in this case is pi over 5. And B is -2 pi. You can see that there is no C. So C is 0. Now we need, what is the amplitude? So amplitude, which in this case is given by capital A, is nothing but the absolute value of -3. So this is 3. And then we have the period. The period P is what? Is 2 pi over K, which is just 2 pi over, what is K? K is pi over 5. And this is nothing but 2 pi times what? 5 over pi. And this is equals to 10. Similarly, what is F? F here is regarded as the phase shift. So F, remember, is going to be minus B over K, which is the phase shift. Here it is called K, so it's called F, so we'll leave it like this. And this is minus B, which is -2 pi over K. What is K here? K is pi over 5, right? Right? So Okay, b is minus 2 pi. So this will be minus 2 pi. So this will just be 2 pi times 5. Okay. And this also 10 minus b. Okay. Then what else? I think we're done. So let's see this. This is going to be what? 2 minus 2 times a, which is 3. Then plus p is 10 minus f is also 10. Everything divided by 2. This is nothing but minus 6 over 2, which is minus 3. So the answer is B. All right, now we want to graph this. The graph of minus 2 sine 3x over the period. This is just one period. Intersect the line y equals to 3 over 2 at how many points? So let's graph this. To graph this, we need the amplitude. The amplitude is just absolute value of minus 2, which is 2. And the period is going to be 2 pi over k, which is the same thing as 2 pi over 3, because this is k, and this is our a. There is no c. So this is just the period, right? So what it means that this is how the graph is supposed to be. Let's just do this first. It means we're actually supposed to start from 0 to where? 2 pi over 3. This is one period, right? This is one period. So let's graph one period. But the question is not asking for only one period. The question is asking from 0 to where? 2 pi. Okay. So what can we do? First of all, we have to have this interval first. Let's split this interval first into 4. So we need to know the midpoint here. And how can we know the midpoint? Just add this and this, divide by 2. So it means you have 2 pi over 3 plus 0, then divide by 2, which is the same thing as times what? 1 over 2. So here it's going to be pi over what? Pi over 3. Now, if this is pi over 3, then definitely this is going to be pi over what? Over 6. So if it's pi over 6, then you can get also the center here. You have 2 pi. So how do you get the center? You have 2 pi over 3 plus pi over 3, which is equals to what? This is going to be 3 pi over what? 3 pi over 3, right? And after that 3 pi over 3, which will become pi, you have to divide by what? By 2, because you are looking for the midpoint. So this is just going to be pi over what? Pi over 2, right? So another way you can check if you are right is you have to look at here. What is the distance between here and here? It's pi over 6. If you add pi over, no, this is pi over 2, right? If you add pi over 6 to pi over 6, you're going to get 2 pi. Just add pi over 6 to this. You get what? You get 2 pi over 6, which is pi over 3. Now add pi over 3, add pi over 6 to pi over 3. What do we get? This is going to be 3 pi over 6, which is pi over 2, right? Add pi over 6 again. Add pi over 6 again to pi over 2. So you have pi over 2, add pi over 6 now again. This, if you multiply this by 3, so this is going to be 4 pi over 6, which will give you 2 pi over 3. So you see that the distance between the interval is just pi over 6. The interval has to be the same. from 0 to pi over 6. So, but what we can do is we can try to extend, because we need up to where? Up to 2 pi. So what do I need to do? You need to add again. You need to add some point, more point. So let me use a different color here. So here you need to add pi over 6. So you have 2 pi over 3. Just add pi over 6 again. If you add pi over 6, you can multiply this by 2 over 2, right? So this will give us what? This will give us 5 pi over 6. Right? So this is 5 pi over 6. And now you add another pi over what? So it's going to be a very long graph. So you add another pi by 6 again. If you add pi by 6, so what do we have? You see that this will give us what? 6 pi over what? 6. So this is going to give us what? It's going to give us just pi. Okay. Now, but remember, we need up to where? We need up to 2 pi. So we have to, I hope this space will be enough. Okay. Now this is pi. Add pi over 6 again to pi. What do we have? This is like 6 pi over what? 6 pi over 6. So this will give us what? 7 pi. 7 pi over 6. Add pi over 6 again to it. So you have this plus another pi over 6. And this should give us what? 8 pi over 6. And what else again? If you add another pi over 6 here, you will have what? 9 pi over what? 6. You have 10 pi over 6. So you have 11 pi over 6. And finally, you will have this one. So if you see this, you want to graph this one. I think maybe we can make it better too. So let's graph something here so that we can have more space here. So let's start from 0, pi over 6, pi over 3, pi over 2, 2 pi over 3. All right. And then this is the additions one, the one we need to add. So here is going to be 5 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6, 8 pi over 6, 9 pi over 6, 10 pi over 6, 11 pi over 6, and 12 pi over 6. Remember, 12 pi over 6 is what? It's just 2 pi. So let's see. This is going to be 1. Our amplitude now is going to be 3, right? The maximum we can go, and what's? And minus 3, something like that. Sorry, no, amplitude is 2. So here is 2. And here is minus 2. So if you start from 0, definitely we will go to the what? We'll go to the negative because you have a minus, right? Remember, we have a minus here. So as you can see, there is a minus. So because of this minus, and you are dealing with sine, this is sine. So it means it will not even affect it, right? Because we have to start from origin, yes? So we start from origin first. But now, instead of going to the maximum, we will go to the what? Minimum. So because of the minus, then we will come back to the baseline. Then we go up. Then we back to the baseline again. Then we go down. We back to the baseline. We go to the maximum. Back to the baseline. Go to the minimum. Baseline. Maximum. And finally, baseline. So it's going to be something like this. Okay, this, and finally this one. All right, so let's see how many points. But we're looking for which line? Let's see, we asked that what? The line y is equals to what? 3 over 2. 3 over 2 is around 1.5, yes? So let's say somewhere here, 3 over 2. And if we draw the line 3 over 2, how many points does it cut? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So this is how many points it cuts, the graph. It cuts here at 1, at 2, at 3, 4, 5, and what? And 6. So here, what is the lesson here? The lesson here is that even though we had to add some extra points, so this graph is actually more than one period. But just start with one period, and then you can extend to whatever interval that is required, right? So let me just look at what we did. Here we found the period, which is 2 pi over 3. So it means that the original graph for one period is just going to start from where? From the red one, which is 0 to 2 pi over 3. But the question says you should go as far as what? As 2 pi. So it means you have to continue. So that is why we needed to add the what? The intervals in black, right? Look at where we stop. This is 12 pi over 6. 12 pi over 6 is 2 pi. So that is why we stop. So the entire graph now is from 0 to where? To 2 pi. And the line 3 over 2 cuts this graph 6 points. All right. So now this is also similar here. If you look at this one, now which interval do we need? You are asked to draw in which interval? You're asked to draw in this interval minus 2 pi to where? To 4 pi. Right. Okay, so just let's leave this one and let's just find the what? The period. Let's just find the period. So what is the amplitude first? The amplitude is just absolute value of minus 3, which is 3. And the period is 2 pi over what? Over k. So this is 2 pi over 3 over 4, right? Because that will be our k here. And this is nothing but 2 pi times what? 4 over 3. Okay. And this is just what? It's going to be 8 pi over 3. Now, what do we do? So it means that originally, this also is going to be call it. All right, so let's see if we will need more. So it means originally we are actually supposed to what? To start from 0, and we stop at where? 8 pi over what? Over 3. So let's try to divide this interval into 4. Let's increase this a little. And so what would be the midpoint? This is going to be what the center is. This plus 0 divided by 2, which is going to be 4 pi over 3, right? Because dividing by 2 is like multiplying by 1 over 2, right? And now this one, which is also going to be the center, you add this and this. So this is going to be 2 pi by 3. Then the middle here is going to, you add the 2, which is 4 pi. 4 pi plus 8 pi is 12 pi, divided by what? If you divide it by 3, right? Divided by 3, you have 4 pi, then divided by 2. So this is going to be 2 pi, right? This is going to be 2 pi. Now, but now we need from minus 2 pi to what? To 4 pi. So it means that we need to add some additional interval. So here, and you can see that the distance here is just what? Is just 2 pi. The distance between each interval is 2 pi over 3. So it means I need to add 2 pi over 3 because I need up to 4 pi. So if I add 2 pi over 3, this will become what? This will become 10 pi over 3, right? Yes, because I'm adding 2 pi. Yes. So now, if we add another 2 pi over 3, if I add 2 pi over 3 to this will become 12 pi over 3. But this 12 pi over 3 is the same thing as 4 pi. So it means we are finished to the right, because I'm looking at this interval because we want our graph to be in this interval. So it also means I have to go to the negative, right? So if this is 0, this is going to be what? Minus 2 pi over 3, because the interval have to be the same. If this is minus 2 pi over 3, what is this one? Because I need to also add what? Another 2 pi by 3. So this is going to be minus what? 4 pi over 3. And the next one is going to be minus 6 pi over 3. But this minus 6 pi over 3 is the same thing as minus 2 pi. You see? So now we have the full interval. Then we need to just graph. So to graph now, we start, this is the graph of what? Cosine. Now, I'm going to focus on the red one, because this is the original, right? So this is the graph of cosine. Remember the graph of cosine. Let's put our A. Our A here is going to be, the maximum is 3. The minimum is what? Is minus 3, right? So let me use this one. Yeah. So you can see that at 0, what do we have? At 0, we're going to go to the what? To the minimum, because this is the graph of cosine. So we'll be at where? At minus 3. Then at 2 over 3, we'll be back to the baseline. At 4 pi over 3, we'll go to where? We'll go to 3. Then at 2 pi, be back to the baseline. Then at this, you'll be back to this one. So this is just going to be something like this, like this, like this. Yes. So this is the graph, but this graph is just one period, which is between 0 and this 8 pi by 3. But we need more, so you just need to continue. So if you are back to the minimum here, so here we will be back to what? We will be back to the what? The baseline, yes. Then we'll go back to the maximum here. We'll go back to the baseline. So this also is going to, so let me see. Okay, no, this is not true. Okay, so because at 8 pi over 3, we are already at where? At the minimum. So at 10 pi over 3, we'll be back to the baseline. Then at 4 pi, we'll be back towards the maximum. So this will go like this. Yes. Then we will continue also in this way. Since here we are at the minimum here at 0, so at minus 2 pi over 3, we'll be back to the baseline. Then at minus 4 pi over 3, you will reach the what? The peak, which is at this. Then at minus 2 pi, we'll be back to the baseline. So we'll continue this way, like this. So this is the complete graph. And now for this graph now, we need to find where it is what? Below the x-axis. So you can see that below the x-axis, we only have two points. This part, this is part 1 below the x-axis, and this is part 2 below the x-axis. So that is why you see it's going to be minus 2 pi over 3 to where? To 2 pi over 3, which is this first interval. Union, this interval you can see here is what? 2 pi towards 10 pi over 3, which is the second part. So you can see the intervals are open, right? Because you cannot close it, because if you close it, it means it's going to be 0, but we don't need where it is 0. We're not looking for the x-intercept. We're looking for where it is entirely below the x-axis. So below the x-axis, let me write it here. Below x-axis is simply from minus 2 pi over 3 to where? To 2 pi over 3. This is what is coming from the first part, union. Then from this second part, you have 2 pi up to 10 pi over 3. So, all right, now the final one is this one. It says if x, y are the coordinates of what? The highest points. So you need to graph it to know the coordinate of the highest points of this graph. So we are dealing with which graph here? We are dealing with our f of x. Let's write it here. F of x is minus 3 sine 3x over 2, but there is a minus 1. So we have to sketch where's the A? The amplitude is absolute value of minus 3, which is just 3. And the period is 2 pi over what? Over 3 over 2. 3 over 2 is the K, right? And now this is going to be 2 pi over 1 times what? 2 over 3. Yes. So this is 4 pi over 3. Okay, so this is good. That is, we don't need to extend anything. It's just going to be one period. So it means we will have, we're going to start from 0, and we will stop at where? 4 pi over 3. And the maximum value here is what? The maximum value. Okay, now here we have to be a little bit careful because we have a C. Our C is not 0. So the range, remember our range is given by this one plus C, right? So we need to add minus 3 plus what? Plus minus 1. So it's going to be minus minus. And then here will be 3 plus minus 1 because our C is minus 1. And this will give us minus 4 and what? And 2. So it means the minimum value is going to be minus 4, right? The maximum value is going to be 2. But also, we have a C. So let's write the C. What is C? C is at where? Minus 1. So we're going to have our baseline here. So our baseline is minus 1. All right. So now let's partition this interval. The interval we have, we need to partition this interval into 4 halves. So one way to do it is just add this. The end and the beginning divided by 2 will give us this one. And that should give us 2 pi over what? Over 3, right? Okay. Here also, what is the midpoint of these two numbers? Just add 2 pi over 3 plus 0 divided by 2. This should give us pi over 3. And finally, you add this and this. That is 4 pi, 2 pi, 2 pi over 3 plus 4 pi over 3. That should just give us, that should give us 2 pi, right? And then divide by 2. So this is just going to be pi. All right, now we're going to work with this. So since this is the graph of sine, but there is a what? A minus. For the graph of sine, if we start from 0, but 0, 0 is not our point now. We have to start from where? We have to start for the baseline. So it means at 0, we should be at our baseline, which is minus 1. Then when we go to the right, we are supposed to go to the what? We're supposed to go to the maximum. But because of this negative, it means we should go to the minimum. So we are not going to 2 now. We have to go to a minus 4, right? And then if we go to the right again, now we go back to the baseline, which is at 1, minus 1. Then when we get to pi, that is when we can go to the maximum, which is at where? At 2. And then when we get to 4 pi over 3, we're back to the baseline, which is at minus 1. So it's going to be something like this. Like this. We touch this. And then we're back here. So this is the graph. Now, it's looking for what? It says x and what? X and y are the coordinates of the highest point. So what is the highest point on the graph? It's this one. So what is the x value? Is pi. And what is the y value? Is 2. So this is the x, and this is the what? This is the y. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you want to find 5x minus what? Pi y. So therefore, 5x minus pi y is equals to 5 times x, which is pi, right? Then minus pi times what? Y is what? 2. So it means you just have 5 pi minus what? 2 pi. And this will give us what? 3 pi. All right, so this is it. I hope it is clear. Thank you for watching. You can share with your friends. And do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you once again for watching.